Today we shall do the features of Romantic era in English literature. Romantic age is between 1800 to 1850. As there was a French Revolution in France, and Britain was also affected by it in 1789. And you must be knowing that three principles were there: liberty, equality, and fraternity, which induced people to go for this revolution. They wanted the rule of common men there in England and in France, and they struggled against this monarchy and anarchy. You must be knowing that Romantic literature has we have certain poets and writers like William Wordsworth, Keats, John Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, Coleridge. These are the prominent poets of Romantic era, and there were certain other writers also. Why I am naming these poets is because when we read the poems of these very poets, we come to know that these poets had in their mind the basic qualities or principles of this age. First of all, I would like to tell you that this Romantic literature has nothing to do with romantic stories, or as you might have be feeling in your minds that it has to do something with romance and like that. Romantic means when a person uses his imagination. So the first and main chief characteristic of this era is that the poets and writers used their imagination very much. Prior to Romantic literature, there is neoclassical age in English literature, and in that era the stress was there on the mind, on the thoughts, but here the stress is on feelings and emotions. So the first chief characteristic is the use of imagination. The poet in his imagination goes into some other worlds, and he sees himself to be enjoying or happy, as you might have read in the poems of John Keats. That as I would like to give you an example of Ode to a Nightingale. In this poem, the poet wants to say that he wants to forget the miseries and struggles and strifes of this world, and he wants to shift himself to the other happy world, though temporarily, but he wants to escape from this harsh real world of human beings. So the chief feature of this poetry or this Romantic age is the use of imagination. And then I would like to tell you that in Romantic literature, the poets and writers have stressed on the use of nature, on the value and importance of nature. As you might have heard the name of William Wordsworth, he has been called the high priest of nature because he has worshipped nature in his poems and in his lines. He says that we must go in the lap of nature, we must enjoy natural scenes, natural beauties, and we must give value to these natural objects like trees, streams, winds. Most of his poems are dedicated to these natural scenes, as there is a poem in BA second year also in third semester by William Wordsworth, The World is Too Much with Us. In this poem also he signifies the relevance of nature. He says that getting and spending we lay waste our powers, and little we see in nature that is ours. Little means nothing. And so he wants to be a pagan. If he has to pray natural gods, then he is willingly ready to do that. So you will be observing that these types of poets, whether it is Shelley, Keats, Wordsworth, these poets have given stress to natural things, natural objects in their poetry. And next, I would like to say that French Revolution was the common people's struggle or revolution against monarchy, against kingships. So the reign or kingdom or the rule of government was to be in the hands of common people, and these poets they wanted to write for these common peoples. Their subject matter was no doubt natural things, natural objects, but they wrote in language which was basically meant for these common people. So the language and diction of the poets of this romantic literature is very simple and down to earth, and it is written for ordinary people of society. So you would say that the main characteristic of this romantic literature is that the poets have used very simple language which is particularly written for these common people. Then, as I have told you, that there was a feeling of fleeing or feeling of escape in the poet's mind. So escapism is also a feature of these poets, these writing styles. And next I would say that these poets had written in an autobiographical style. Their poetry or their writings have shown their subjectivity. These poets have, you can say, they have highlighted their own ideas, their own likings and dislikings in their writings. And as William Wordsworth tells us about his experiences in the poem Daffodils also, when oft on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. My, I, mine. These words show that the poet is describing his own experience. That's why we find their poetry to be full of subjectivity rather than objectivity. The poet is discussing or telling his own feelings, his own ideas. He wants to glorify himself amidst nature, amidst natural scenes. Next, the prominent quality of romantic literature is that these poets were full of emotions. These poets were quite sensitive poets, and we find these emotional feelings in their writings. These poets, through their emotions, they want to enjoy their lives, which were otherwise full of strife, struggle, disappointments, and they have depicted their emotions in their writings particularly. And you will find all these types of emotions, whether the poet is happy or sad, whether he is full of pleasure or disappointments. Every type of emotion is being depicted in the poems of the poets. The next main quality is also that in this romantic literature, the poets use aestheticism. Their lines were full of beauty, aesthetic pleasure they derived from writing, and their words were decorative words. Their words were full of musicality. Their words show their emotions, and if they were filled with pleasure, they used that type of words which would denote pleasure, happiness, bliss, enjoyment. And their decorative words in the sense that they wanted to glorify nature or some flowers or some streams. They would highlight those, they would choose those words who would depict the beauty of nature. And in their words also, so they have used those poetic devices like onomatopoeia, alliteration, similes. They have compared their emotions with many other things of nature. They have used personification. They have as if they have made alive the natural objects. So they are giving them, these objects, the humanitarian feelings and emotions, as if the clouds are weeping, crying, as if in the Lucy Gray poem of William Wordsworth, Lucy's gait, her way of walking is being compared with the movement of clouds, and her happiness is being compared with the moving young one of deer, fawn. So I would like to say you that the use of words is full of poetic devices. The sentences are full of similes, metaphors, personification, and such type of literary figures as are onomatopoeia, in which the words denote the voice, as if tinkling, jingling, these types of words are used to show the musicality of the flowing water or the chirping of the birds. So these types of words are used. In romantic literature, I would like to tell you that as we have Chayavadi literature in Hindi Sahitya, in the same way we have these romantic literature in English. छायावादी आपने पढ़ा होगा, युग था जिसमें हमारे जो कवि थे जयशंकर प्रसाद, सुमित्रा नंदन पंत, निराला और इस तरह के जो कवि थे, महादेवी वर्मा, ये 4 स्तंभ पिलर्स हैं. इन द सेम वे विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ, जॉन कीट्स, Shelley, P.B. Shelley, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and this S.T. Coleridge. These are the 4 main pillars of romantic poetry. And similarly, there were other writers also. You are having these in your first semester MA, and otherwise also when you have in your BA second year also you have some of these poets like Keats and Wordsworth in your syllabus. So please read these poems with the same enjoyment and same types of feelings that the poets had while writing them. Thank you.